apologies if my voice sounds terrible. I just got a post-nasal drip for the past few days, but I just got this package a few seconds ago and I just wanna open it right now. So inside here should be a bunch of magnets with a Aoshi WRM. This is a Qiyi 9x9, it's non-magnetic. I plan to magnetize it with some of these magnets. First impressions, it's still in a plastic wrap, but it doesn't feel as small as I was expecting it to be. But visually it definitely looks very small, and touching it, it's also more like frosted than I remember what the Aoshi WRM used to be before. Of course, I've used this for a while, so totally glossy right now. The frostedness seems to be more than what I remember from when I first got the Aoshi WRM. I have two Aoshi WRMs. This is actually the prototype one that I upgraded with more magnets. So first impressions with this cube is that it's really fast and really stable, and it reminds me of the Aoshi WRM, except maybe the frosted feel is a little bit more. And visually, just looking at this from the outside, it does look really small. But really, I'm really impressed by this cube. Of course, there's no loop in it, so the feel isn't the most amazing. I can still feel the sandiness, but apart from that, it's like, in terms of piece collision, I can feel very little. I can only feel the magnets, and other than that, it's really, really fast. This cube is much faster than pretty much every other 6x6 I've seen. It's much lighter than pretty much every 6x6 I've seen as well. And another thing I want to talk about is the magnet strength. So with the Aoshi WRM, if you have known, the final version is okay, but the prototype version had an issue where the second layer magnets is a little bit too weak and the outer is a little bit strong. So sometimes when you want to turn one outer, you may accidentally double turn. So I've already totally fixed this prototype. So this is a non-issue, but like with the Aoshi WRM, the one I got here, it's like the outer layer feels like the weakest of the three, and then the second and the third feel quite similar in strength, and I personally think this is perfect. The second and third layer are overall on the moderate side. The outer is a little bit to the weak side, and I personally like this a lot. I don't foresee like lots of accidental like double moving a lot. And yeah, right now out of the box, I really only have one bad thing to say about it, which is the frostedness. Everything else about it is like really perfect, and yeah, I'm also liking the size a lot. Yeah, the size doesn't feel as drastic of a change. This is Cosmic Shadow V2. Yeah, it doesn't feel as drastic of a change compared to the 7x7, because this one was a drop from, I would say 66, 67. Let's just give it a 67. 67 drop all the way down to 65. And this one is a 64 drop to a 63. So for some reason, I'm not feeling that the size difference is very big. The inner to outer layer ratio of this cube does look a little bit smaller than what I remember from past cubes. I can bring the cube up close. Yeah, the Aoshi WRM almost have the same inner layer size as the Shadow V2, although you can tell that the inner start going out of alignment when you hit the fourth layer. So it's slightly smaller, but like I need 4 layers to really see the difference. Whereas the outers are obviously smaller. Portion wise, I think it does have a smaller outer to inner layer ratio, but I don't think that's an issue. I think the size is still pretty nice to grip, and overall, yeah, this cube does looks like it's better than every other 6x6 I've tried. And I'm just going to take a look at the 9x9. I've actually handled this 9x9 before, and I didn't like how it was out of the box. This one is okay. It's slightly more frosted than I remember this cube to be, and it's not as horribly slow as I remember it to be. This speed is quite okay. I think the previous one I tried was actually like leaking out loop like every time I made a turn on it. I don't seem to be experiencing this problem now. But this is a puzzle that I don't really expect it to be great out of the box. I just have a setup plan for it, which is mainly to compress the springs and put in some magnets. And the reason why I didn't want to get a Tiansheng Galaxy 9x9 is I've tried Qiyi's Qiyi 8x8 and it was better than my Galaxy 8x8, so I decided to go with this as my 9x9 instead. My previous 9x9 main is this outdated monstrosity that's bigger than my 10x10. And when this cube held the title of 9x9 main, it's actually a really empty title because I played 9x9 by borrowing other people's 9x9s, and I did much more 8 and 10 compared to 9. The act of buying this just is basically me trying to get a bit more serious with 9x9. I am back. It's actually the same day, just a few hours later. I haven't really done any setup with Aoshi WRM. This video is just going to stop at first impressions. I'll probably do a more serious review of this cube later. For the Qiyi 9x9, I've done the entire spring compression plus magnetization of this cube, so yep, it's a lot better now. It's actually fast. I think it is quite similar to what I remember from Anyi's 8x8, which is the whole reason why I've chosen to get this 9x9 over the Galaxy. Interested to see what times I get with this, as well as this of course.